7:03 on Thursday, and this is the opening up of the ZBA for hearings of special permits and variances. This meeting is being televised by Chelmsford Telemedia and being conducted remotely pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GLC 30A subsection 18, in the governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place.
Okay.
Oh, is that him ringing in?
Hello? Hi. Mark, that was Brian, and he asked if we had a quorum. I told him we did, and he asked if he could bow out. So can you be chair tonight, please?
Yep, that's fine.
Thank you.
Okay, just help me along here. All right, so we're going to go to the first public hearing, which is at 53 Kensington Drive. Peter and Christina Papalopoulos for a special permit under 195-6.1 accessory apartment and variance under 195-9 conformity to construct a 36 by 25 garage in limited accessory apartment that will not meet the rear setback and any other relief that may be deemed necessary. And who do we have here that's speaking on behalf of this application?
I have Pat Flaherty.
Okay.
I don't see my face, but I can speak anyway.
Sure.
As long as you can hear me.
Peter,
Peter,
I can. I think everybody can.
oh, let me, wait a second. There I am. So Peter and Christina Papadopoulos live on Kensington Drive. This is a plot plan of their property, house number 53. And it's almost a 23,000 square foot lot. And they want to add a garage to the right-hand side and to the rear of that, an in-law apartment. And they're looking for some relief on the rear lot line. It's normally 30 feet, and we're okay with front and sides. You notice to the right of the garage, there's a sewer easement, so that kind of constricted things a little bit. We could have gone a little bit further to the right there, but that's essentially it. I think you have the architectural plans there also somewhere to maybe get a view of the front of it. Yeah, there's the front of the house, and you can see the existing on the left and the proposed on the right, and in between there's an entranceway a common entranceway that can bring you into either house or into the in-law apartment. So there's some common area behind there. And I don't know if we have a floor plan there. But there's a rear view of the house. And toward the back there is the apartment. Okay, this is a floor plan of the addition. So there's a garage in the front right, and to the left you can see the mud room and the entrance there, and some common area and a sunroom. And then the in-law apartment or the accessory apartment is to the rear.
In the square footage on the accessory apartment, what is that?
I think
Did I
have
see
oh.
796? Or is that, am I reading the wrong thing?
No, that's 796, yes.
Okay, so you're aware that it's 750 is the maximum.
We'd like some relief on that if we could.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that listed specifically. It looked like more setback, but okay.
Yeah, that includes everything. It includes the bathroom and the closets. So I don't know about right now, but one time we used to be able to subtract a little bit for
Yeah, stairwells and common areas, etc.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so that isn't included there.
so are those included in the 796?
No, just the no, it's just the accessory apartment is 796. The sunroom and the mudroom and the garage are separate.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions regarding this? Is there anybody in the audience that cares to speak either in favor or against this?
Mr. Chair, there are some letters I could read.
Okay, why don't we do that while we're waiting to see if anybody is on the line?
Okay. So I have a memo from Center Water District, Richard Tanzino. He has no concerns. Board of Health, Sue Rosa has no concerns. We have our, I believe to be a standard fire letter. It says, "Dear members of the board, this office has reviewed the proposed garage and limited accessory apartment additions at 53 Kensington and finds the following. The entire home has both new and existing shall be upgraded to comply with the latest edition of the Massachusetts State Building Code for smoke, heat, and carbon monoxide detectors. The proponent shall submit plans for review to the Fire Prevention Office via the Town of Chelmsford online permitting portal. All smoke, carbon monoxide, and heat detectors required shall be marked on the plans prior to submission for review. This department is concerned that if there is more than one dwelling on a property, that occupancy should be identifiable from the street. This office will require 2 mailboxes identifying the property as 53 Kensington Drive and 53A Kensington Drive. The applicant shall apply for address to the Chelmsford E911 Committee and its coordinator, Town Clerk Trish Duras. This department is not interested in an official change of address being recorded on the deed. It is only our intent to distinguish this home for emergency responders. This office would approve this plan with these conditions, and I ask the board to make this letter part of their approval process. This one is from Steve Yonley, our assistant DPW director, and it's basically writing an engineering note, and it's a standard. This addition will be over the existing sewer service. Applicant must contact DPW sewer division to coordinate any necessary actions to preserve or alter the sewer service. Erosion control devices must retain the sediment on site. These must be installed prior to any work or demolition. And there is one abutter letter from Pat Maloney, to whom it may concern, pursuant to the legal notice received regarding the special permit for Peter and Christina Papadopoulos at 53 Kensington Drive. I am in favor of approval of this project and have no issues or concerns at this time. Patrick J. Maloney. That's it.
We know where Patrick lives.
Oh, I'm sorry. His address is 51 Kensington, right
Okay.
next door.
Does anyone else have any questions or comments?
Can we scroll down to see where that is in relation to the special permit and the rear lot? Is he the one being affected by the rear setback?
And do you guys still see the agenda? I mean, the plan?
No,
No.
No, it disappeared.
Okay, hold on a second.
And what, can I ask what the purpose of the limited access is for? Mr. Flattery?
Oh, you mean limited accessory?
Yes.
Yes, the limited accessory apartment that they're building.
Oh, that's the technical term for an in-law apartment. We call it a limited accessory use. That's how the bylaw is
So
written.
they're, right, are there in-laws? Are there parents coming to move into
Yes,
that
yes.
apartment?
Christina's mother will be there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So is it just the mother or?
Well, as far as I know, I'd have to talk to Christina.
Okay, because there are requirements around that.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, this is 53 Kensington. Things are slow here. Isn't working. Anyway, Pat lives next door at this.
Yeah, on the right-hand side there, that's Pat Maloney.
And these people are way,
So he's on the side where the construction would be. He's probably the most affected.
yeah, because it's all right here.
No.
So the rear setback is to the street then? Is
No,
that how am I?
this way.
The rear setback would be to the rear lot line. See where it's, on the plot plan, it says 23.8 feet. And the old bylaw calls for 30. So we're looking for some relief on the rear lot line.
So how much relief is it? 5 feet?
It
Five
looks
and a half feet?
like,
What the hell?
my
Six.
math says 6.2 feet relief.
6.
And did we hear from the owners of that lot?
And the,
This lot.
let's see, that's Pat Maloney's lot. Oops, that's moving fast. The outline, the house is, the lot is outlined in blue there,
This,
and that's 53 Kensington. And so the houses behind would be on Pendleton Road, and they're quite a ways off.
Are those standard room dimensions? Just my thoughts were if they were slightly smaller, then the setback wouldn't be an issue, and then the actual square footage wouldn't be an issue. So I was just wondering, are those the standard sizes?
Well, that, yeah, you really can't get much smaller with an in-law apartment. It's actually pretty tight, you know. You think of the kitchen and the living room are going to be sort of combined there. So it's like a studio. It's not very big. You can compare it to a one-bedroom apartment in an apartment house, and it really shouldn't be too much smaller.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like the bedroom's like, what, 12 by 8.5? Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah, it's small. It's
Yeah.
that 750 square foot idea usually means people wind up buying all new furniture, which is not always a problem, you know, but you can't really bring your old stuff with you. It's pretty tight.
Oh,
Yeah, that bedroom is 15.5 by 10.5.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at a different drawing. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Is
did we hear from, I'm sorry, did we hear from the Russos who are going to be affected by the rear setback change? No.
Not hearing from somebody is usually positive.
Okay. So silence is concurrence. That's our.
They were notified.
Is it still a special permit if it's more than 20% for the setback?
20% is the max.
Because they're going from 30 down to under 24, so 6 feet would give you,
24.
3%.
yeah. And I think they're down to 23.8 is the number that's in my head.
Right. That's a variance, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it's still 20%. I don't think it matters whether it's a limited accessory or not.
Yeah.
So
We
is
need
there
to
some
make
way
that-
that you can make some adjustments to this drawing in order to bring that into just being a special permit?
And then we
So-
still have the 750 as opposed to 796.
Yep, we do.
Now, does that fall under being advertised as any other relief that may be deemed necessary, or does that need to be specified?
The legal ad is for a variance.
It is for a variance, okay.
Ah,
Okay. So many windows.
And the lot itself, I mean, the house itself meets all setbacks, but the lot itself, shape-wise, is non-conforming, size-wise, correct? Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, conforming would
It's
be,
under 40.
yeah, 40,000 would be conforming. And there aren't any houses, any lots in this neighborhood. This neighborhood was designed and built around 1960, so that was at the time 22.5 was the standard size, the minimum size lot, 22,500. I've got the
Like
subdivision.
2962. Okay.
Yeah. And throughout I'm looking at the plan of land, there's many lots. They range from 22.5 to, I don't know, 26, 27,000. But there's nothing in the whole area that's 40,000.
Oh,
So is the question still on the table regarding if we could bring the setback so that it's not a variance and the 750?
Well, I don't think it would be difficult to gain 0.2 of a foot on the rear to make it.
Nope. I don't either. That's why I think that one would be an easy one to fix. And
Yeah,
also with the 750, I'm wondering if you can take a closer look at the drawings to see if there is any ability to reduce that to 750 or to properly subtract any common areas such as stairwells, etc.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
Mhm.
My name is Christina Papadopoulos. I'm here with my
Yes.
husband, Peter.
Hi.
I'm the town engineer in Chelmsford. However, tonight I'm here as a resident and looking for my engineer, Pat Flaherty, to help me out. However, to speak to the addition in the back, so we tried really hard to get, so my mother is, let's see, she has very difficult time moving around. So we wanted to design the in-law apartment so that she could maneuver it with whatever devices she might need, kind of so that she can age in place. And so if she needs to transition to a wheelchair at some point, all the doors have been made handicap accessible. All of the all the doorways, all the bathroom, everything has been designed so that it has that extra width to it. So that maybe, once we added all that together, it probably went over the 750, but there's really no way to kind of make a handicap accessible in-law apartment at 750. I think that would be really difficult for her to be able to maneuver. So that's why we would ask for that. And then regarding the setback to the rear, so the along the rear property line is also another 30-foot sewer easement. So that also didn't seem like a concern to me because there's never going to be a building closer than 30 feet to the property line to the rear. And same thing to the right side where my neighbor Pat Maloney is. There's a 30-foot sewer easement there too. So we figured we're pretty far from anyone else, and really hope that this addition could be a benefit to my family.
Totally understand, and I appreciate the comments. I think the real motivation is if there was an opportunity where we didn't have to grant the variance for the rear setback, because you're off by what, 0.8? I can't recall. I have to go back.
So the reason why we had to push everything back is because of that 30-foot sewer easement on the right. We kind of had to squeeze everything over towards the center line and therefore got pushed back a little bit just to be able to get the right dimensions. We really did try and keep everything, especially the front setback. I didn't want to go any closer in the front. I thought that wasn't the right decision. So really thought that, going in the back would be the right place to go.
Anybody else have questions about this? Comments?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking it would be a lot easier to do the special permit, not have to chase the whole, what the requirements are to grant the variance for 2 or 3 inches. If we can shave 2 or 3 inches, we don't have to find the hardships or anything like that.
Well, that's what I see too.
Yeah.
And moving forward 0.2 inches to avoid stipulating between a variance and a hardship, because it wouldn't violate the front setback, right? Or the aesthetics. I mean, unless I'm reading
Is there
this.
any wiggle room in the front? Can they bump forward that half a foot or whatever it is?
It's literally like 3 inches. I mean,
Yeah, can they bump it
Right.
forward, or is that going to mess up the entire structural plan? I don't know who that's a question for. Maybe Mr. Flaherty, maybe that's a question for you.
Oh, that's that 0.17 is 2 inches, so it's 2 inches.
Yep.
And I think we'd be up to Christina and Peter if they want to shorten it up by 2 inches.
I think we should be able to move the whole thing forward 2 inches if we have that front setback. I think that would work.
Yeah, I think that would work too. So you got plenty of room that way, and 2 inches isn't very much, but it would certainly reduce the complexity of this.
Well, yeah, I
What
don't
do you
have
think? Go ahead.
Yeah, excuse me. I don't have any trouble with that, and the architect's not here, so I'll just have to speak for him. He can find those 2 inches and move things forward 2 inches.
Okay, and we should be able to include that as part of a motion if the board sees or deems that appropriate. Are there any other questions or comments from either the board or anyone else? Okay, without hearing any, can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay. And
I'd like to
that's
second
Erin.
that.
If you could just state your name first so we have that on the record.
This is Erin making a motion. Erin Drew making a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, and a second?
Charlie Wojcik, second.
Okay, and if we could just go around, Erin? To approve it, the closing?
Yes, approve.
Charlie?
Yes.
Steve?
I'm in favor.
And Nancy?
Yes.
And who's voting on this?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
There's 7
I
of
don't know
us.
if Erin, Jamie, I don't know who's voting on this, but Jamie, do you agree with closing?
I agree.
Okay, and I agree as well. This is Mark. So, okay, I think we could take it up. Colleen, do you have an idea of who the voting members would be on this?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was muted. Yes, why don't you do Jamie for this one?
Okay,
This is there. Yeah, we only have one extra member.
yeah, that's what I thought. So we'll do
Yes.
Jamie on this and then Erin on the next one. And
Sounds good.
okay,
You're on, Jamie.
okay, so I guess we're looking for a motion on this if there aren't any other comments.
So what's
Do we
the,
have,
sorry, what's the deal with the in-law apartment? That's going to go over the 750 due to the making it appropriate for wheelchair access, basically? That's the,
I think so. I think
Okay.
that's appropriate. Anybody else have any thoughts about that?
I'm assuming there was no stipulation in the bylaws to account for that or accommodate that in any way, huh?
I recall a few that were over 8 to 1,000. So it's completely up to the board. It's your discretion.
Yeah, I think so
Okay.
too. So I don't think that's a problem in order to grant that. But
I
still
have no
looking for
other
a motion.
questions.
Okay,
I'll make a motion.
It'll be two motions, Jamie, and I just put up the legal ad. So you have a special permit, and instead of the variance, you'll have another special permit under conformity.
Okay, Jamie Brown, I make a motion to approve the special permits for 53 Kensington Drive, special permit under 195 6-.1 for the accessory apartment and special permit under 95.9 for the rear setback.
okay. Do we have a second?
do we need to add in that the
Oh, with the change to the drawing,
With-
yes.
Yeah.
With the stipulation that the rear setback be adjusted to meet 30 feet to conform with the 20%.
I think we're saying 24.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
At a minimum,
tw-
it'll be
add the-
24 feet, yeah,
Got
Yeah,
it?
20% of the 30, right?
right.
Yeah, okay. So at a minimum, the rear setback will be set at 24 feet. Sorry. Do I need to do that over?
No, I got it.
You have that, Colleen?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a
Stephen-
second?
Stephen, second, Stephen Mendez.
Okay. Why don't we go around? Nancy,
I approve.
Steve,
I approve.
Charlie,
I vote yes.
Jamie,
I am in favor.
and I'm also in favor.
Unanimous.
So I guess that's it.
Good luck with
Thank
it.
you.
Have fun.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you very much for your consideration.
Okay.
Okay, next is the application for 4 McIntosh Road, Ryan and Catherine Hu, for a special permit under 195 6.1 accessory apartment and special permit under 195.9 conformity to construct a garage and limited accessory apartment that will not meet the side setback and any other relief that may be deemed necessary. Okay, do we have someone here to speak to this?
Yes, Doug Hausler, representing the applicants.
Okay, how you doing, Doug?
Good evening, members, Mr. Chairman. I hopefully think this will be a much easier application for you to consider. The Hools are looking to do the limited accessory apartment for Mrs. Hool's mother to join them. It is under the 750 square feet. It's 695 square feet of living space that's being proposed. When you're looking at the property from the right side, or looking at the property from the street, it's to the right side. You'll also see this is a 30,000 square foot lot in an RB district at 4 McIntosh Road in Chelmsford. So I think we hit all the criteria for the accessory in the sense that we're definitely meeting the intended purpose, and we're under the threshold requirements of the square footage. In all other respects, we're in conformity with zoning other than lot area, obviously. And there is one little spot height, and that's the side yard setback on the right side. It's supposed to be a 25-foot setback. We're at 23.9, and the area that's where it's impinging on the 25 feet is the garage area, and we really cannot narrow that down any further because it would make the garage too tight for the 2 cars that it's hoping to accommodate. So we really cannot squeeze it down, but we are still well within the 20% threshold for granting a special permit. We would respectfully ask that the board make any required findings and approve the application.
Okay, is there any questions, comments?
If I may add one thing, Mr. Chairman,
Sure.
I believe that there's the only real person that could have been affected by this application, other than the applicants and their mother-in-law and mother, is the neighbor to the right. And I believe that neighbor has been sent in a letter of support. And if you also notice in the package of materials that we provided to you, you'll see a picture of the front yard looking at the driveway, and look to the right, you'll see a huge buffer area of trees that separate the two. So there'll be no negative impact on the abutting neighbor to the right at 6 McIntosh.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. Any other questions from the board, or as I try to zip around here?
And can we bring up the plot plan again? Because it's just not loading for me at the moment.
Yeah, I'm having a little.
Mine is going very slow as well. There it is. That good, Steve?
So you'll see the 23.9 areas of the garage area. So right where the driveway meets the garage, and for the first approximately, I'm going to guess 3 or 4 feet. It's going to be past the 25-foot setback requirement.
How wide is that garage? The front?
As I understand it, it's a 2-bay garage, and it is 25 feet wide, which is not too much for 2 cars to get in, to be able to open doors and be able to get in and out easily out of the cars without banging the other cars together.
Can you guys see the plan?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, that's it for me.
Anybody else have any questions on the application? Is there anyone in the audience that might have a comment or a question on this? Okay, Colleen, do you have letters?
I do have letters.
Okay.
So, the first one is from Steve Yonley, Engineering. The standard notes, consideration should be made to install roof drain dry wells or equivalent to infiltrate roof runoff. Erosion control devices must retain the sediment on site. These must be installed prior to any work or demolition. Center Water has no comments. Board of Health has no comments. Dan wrote the exact same letter for this one too. Is that okay if I don't read it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, the address and everything. And, you know, our buddy here works in fire prevention, so he knows what to do. And this is from his neighbor. Dear members of the board, we are writing to you in support of the special permit application for 4 McIntosh by Ryan and Catherine Houle. Ryan Houle presented us with the plans for the project and the location relative to our lot lines on the plot plan. We are the direct abutters that the planned project would affect and believe that the proposed addition would be a good fit for the character of our neighborhood. After review of his plan, we offer our complete support of the application with no objections. Rob and Carol Quaden. That's it.
Okay, any further comments or? Okay, I guess entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
A motion to close.
Second,
Steven,
Second by
second.
Charlie Wojcik. Oh, sorry.
okay, second by Charlie. Okay, Nancy,
I'm in favor.
Steve,
I'm in favor.
Erin,
I'm in favor.
Charlie,
Yes.
and I'm also in favor. So let's take this up here if we could. Anybody have any discussion points or anyone want to make a motion on this?
I'll make a
Going
motion.
once.
I'll make a motion to approve the special permit for 4 McIntosh Road under 195-6.1 for an accessory apartment and a special permit under 195-9 conformity to construct a garage and limited accessory apartment that will not meet the side setback.
Second.
Okay, a second, Charlie? Was that a second, Charlie?
Yes.
Yes, okay, great. Erin, all in favor? Erin,
I'm in favor.
Steve,
I'm in favor.
Charlie,
In favor positively.
Nancy?
I'm in favor.
And I'm also in favor, so that's unanimous. Thank you very
all.
much.
Appreciate your time, folks. Have a good evening.
So good
Thanks,
luck
yeah.
with it.
Nice to see you, Mr. Flaherty.
Pleasure to see you, sir.
Okay, flip around here. Okay, next application is 24 Fenwick Road, Peter Spawn, for a variance under 195-9 conformity to build a 26 by 28 foot garage and a special permit under 195-8 non-conforming structures for the side setback and other relief that may be deemed necessary. And who do we have here to speak for this?
Mr. Flaherty again, thank you. Pat
Mr. Flaherty again, okay.
Do we, Carleen, do we have a little better,
I think I do. I don't think it made the agenda though, but let me go through my file.
this is a plan that was used for conservation, and it has a lot of contours and silt fences and things like that on it, and we don't want to confuse anything.
Okay.
There's a cleaner copy somewhere.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to see this.
Yeah, but I can tell you a little bit about the lot. It's this neighborhood, the Fenwick Road is a bit off of Boston Road, and this small subdivision was built around 1960. Maybe if you could, that looks much better. If you could zero in on the house area, it'd be great. So this lot is about 34,000 square feet, but it's, most of the neighborhood are 20, 25,000 square foot lots. And if you can ignore a little bit of the contour work, we went to conservation with this because of the wetlands. If you look toward the right, you see these numbers like WF10A and WF11A. And that's the wetlands flags. The wetlands is pretty close to the property. And we went to conservation and they approved the project. So there's a few extra lines in there for contours and silt fences and 100-foot setbacks, and they have jurisdiction for 100 feet within a wetland. But essentially, can you see on the, you see house number 24, and to the left and to the front, there's a 28 by 26 garage. And that's what we're here for tonight. On the left-hand side, the setback for the garage is 21 feet. And on the front corner, it's 28.4. Can everyone see those numbers all right? There's a 21 there. And then in the front, there's a 28.4. So this is a cul-de-sac too. This is so the pavement is a little bit beyond the 28.4. When this, oh, yeah.
A mess, sorry, hold on.
Yeah. All right. See, on the right-hand side of house number 24, we're only 10.8 feet from the lot line. So that, of course, prevents any kind of structure over there. And also, it's really close to the wetlands, and conservation would not allow anything that close anyway. So, but they were fine with the proposed 26 by 28 on the left-hand side of the property. There are some other small additions to the rear, but they're no problem with setbacks. When this subdivision was done, the minimum setback on the left side where it says 21 was 23 feet. We had some strange zoning years ago, but 23 feet on the left, so now it's 21. So it's really not too much, 2 feet. And I know it doesn't seem to be, on the advertisement, they talk about side setback. But I'm gonna have to say that the front setback in the old zoning is 35 feet. So I think we're looking for relief there also. Both of those numbers meet that 80% criteria for a special permit. The front, we need 28 for a special permit, and the side, we just need 18 for a special permit. And right now, there is no garage, and they could really use a garage and some extra space in the house. I don't have any architecturals here, so in front of me, but perhaps you have some, Colleen, I'm not sure.
Mr. Chairman, could you just refresh my memory? What are the side and front setbacks? What are the requirements?
Well, that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm actually looking for that. Isn't it 25 feet there or
Well,
40
on the side?
and then 40 in
Because
the front?
it only matters what it is today, not what it maybe once was.
That's not necessarily true. We passed a bylaw for that 195 8E2 so that the people
Okay.
could go back to the zoning at the time of construction. It's only
At
been,
the-
under 195-8 and then go to section E, there's a new list and it has years of construction. I
Where
can,
did you, I'm not finding that, so anybody finds that, please enlighten me.
I'll pull it up.
195 8E?
Yep. It may not be updated in your book because it just passed, I believe, a year ago.
Okay,
And my computer's really slow, but I will bring it up for you.
yeah, we just want to confirm as Jamie mentioned, we'd like to just confirm what the actual requirement is so that we can, we'll know that it could be a special permit. If it does in fact go down to 18, that would make life a lot easier.
Let's see.
So did Sean forget to come too today or he wasn't required?
Sean wasn't here today. I honestly
Oh,
forgot.
okay.
Yeah, he had, I think, a death of the family.
Okay, oh, okay.
Mr. Chairman, that's what I was trying to figure out, what the building inspector was thinking on the setbacks.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you on that, Charlie.
I'm sorry this is taking so long.
So I have 195E, by right non-conforming, single family, two-family, residential, extended altered buildings proposed, the following circumstances, subsection E1A through D shall not be deemed to increase the non-conforming conformance to historical dimensional requirements based upon year structure was built and zoning district. So what year was the house built in again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we deleted that whole section that you just read.
Okay, so it says here it can conform based on year built, right?
Are you
I
looking
just need to,
online?
I don't, yes, the
It
new one.
should have the years that are built. I'm trying to pull it up.
I'm asking, what year is this house that we're speaking of built in,
Oh, Pat?
well,
Mr. Flattery?
the subdivision was recorded in September 1960. I'm not quite sure when the house was built. Let me research that a minute.
Well, yeah, because it says it's by structure built, not division.
They're usually one and the
Oh.
same, but
Was built and zoning district. Yeah, upon the year the structure was built and zoning district. So the date of the structure, it said 1960 was the subdivision.
It was built in 1962. So the year of the subdivision
So-
was 1960.
And it's an RB district, correct?
And it's in an RB district, yes.
Yeah, so it's 40 and 25.
25 side?
If I'm reading, yes, 40 in the front, 25 in the side, if I'm reading this correctly.
So we'd
June
be good down to 20.
1961 to present.
Yeah. So we'd be good to 20 then, right?
Yes.
Uh,
On the
20%.
side?
Yeah, for special permit.
Right.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I believe they're asking for 21.
I'm not sure where we went. Oh, there we go.
So that's what I'm looking at, Colleen. So 1962 was the house built, RB 40 to 25.
Yep, 40 and 25. That looks correct.
Although the approval, I would argue Pat's approval was, what date was that, Pat?
Oh, the subdivision was approved in 1960.
So
That's what we used to go by, the date that the subdivision was approved.
Yeah, because that's the character that it was approved to. You know, the size of the
Right.
lots, the setbacks of the lots. That would be a good question for Sean right now.
Yeah,
It says
Could be.
date, structure, built.
Well, let's look at that again. You see where it says July 56 to May 1st, 1961?
yes.
Yes.
The chart I have shows that at the time this house was built in an RA2 district.
Ah,
So that's what I've been
Oh.
going by, you know?
So it was RA2 at that time.
Yes.
this one.
That would be another thing how do we confirm that,
There's old maps we can confirm in our office, but while they're applying.
Well, I guess another question, how do you figure out zoning? Is it based on when you start building the house or when you're done?
Well, you think about it. When was it permitted?
Well, is it permitted or
Mhm.
occupancy or permitted? That's what I was wondering too.
Well, you can't build, until you
Without
get
a permit.
approvals. Yeah, so you have to have all those approvals before you start building. So
Right, but what does the date go by, I guess is what I'm asking, would be for the permitting or the occupancy?
I think I can help you out there.
Okay,
According
great.
to zoning, everything is being zoned when it is approved. When that subdivision was approved, that's the zoning that has
Okay.
to be in place, not when it was built. It could have been built yesterday. But it still goes by zoning from 1960.
So if I built a new house on a lot that was zoned in 1960, I could use 1960 setbacks?
Yeah, that's correct.
And
I'm pretty sure.
honestly, guys, remember when we were getting the 12, 13 applications for a meeting? They were crazy, and that was all under 195-8E2. And when I went back and looked at it, you never denied anybody. So we figured, why not save everybody a little bit of time, money, and energy? And that passed a town meeting. They went back to the character that it was built to at the time.
I think it was just a matter of determining for this particular petition here, whether or not it's a variance or a special permit based on 30 or 40, 35 or
But-
40, 17 to
Right.
25, right? That's what I think was the debate, why we're asking the numbers specifically, not so much of does that make sense? Because 17 and 25 that would make a difference between 20% or overage between a special permit and a variance.
Yeah, understood.
I guess I'd like to understand, is 21 the setback that they're asking for? Because then it may
That's
not
where-
matter.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Even worst case, if it was 25, it would still be okay.
But they're asking for front relief too. Are they not? If I looked at they're asking for
I'm
front
trying-
relief.
I'm trying to see it.
I can't see both, so
I can't either.
I can't load it. Every time I try to load it, it just kind of
Yeah.
hangs forever.
Yeah, can we confirm what that is so we know what the front that you're asking for, Pat?
Well,
Just give us the side number and the front that you're showing on the drawing.
yeah, the side I'm showing is 21 feet,
Okay, so that would be good either way.
and the front is 28.4.
and that wouldn't be.
And 80% of that is, 80%, well, I thought it'd be a 35-foot setback needed. And 80% of that is 28, so we would make it there for a special permit.
So yeah, so they're asking for relief for both the front and a side, not just a side. They're asking for relief on both.
Right, so I guess if we think that we're reading that properly with regard to the vintage, if you will, of this, this property, I guess it would fit in just under, is that correct?
Well, if it's only 17, if it's only 17 feet for an RA2, then they wouldn't need a side setback because they are at 21, correct?
I think the front's the question, yeah.
Yeah, they would only need the front at 35.
Yeah, the front is what we're looking at right now.
Okay.
And the
Does
front would
everybody
have to
agree
go-
with that?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the front has to go variance if we're starting at 40, right?
35.
Right, I think what Pat was saying, if it was 35, I can't even read it now. What are you at, 28.4?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 35, you can get down to 28.
Yep, and that's where, if we read that properly, if we are reading that properly, then that would just squeak in, right?
As a special permit, not a variance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
With
That's kinda-
0.4 with 4 inches to spare.
Yep. So what does everybody think about this? Because honestly, I'm not really, I've never put that particular chart to use before, so I wish Sean was here to clarify or confirm.
And
Can they
honestly,
not move the structure back I guess not. They didn't get too close to the sideline. Because I guess that lot line goes in. I can't tell.
Yeah, it's going to get closer as you go further back, I would.
Does it angle in? I can't see the whole.
Yeah,
lot,
21's
so-
gonna get smaller, yeah.
Okay. So moving it back to make the frontage, it would encroach on the side.
A lovely sound.
Fire alarm.
So I guess
Any other, yeah, go
the
ahead.
crux is whether or not we're at starting at 40 or 35 for the,
Exactly. And honestly, if we're not comfortable with this, I'd like Sean to give us an opinion on it.
I muted myself just because we have the fire alarms going off here. I don't know.
Okay?
Yeah, I don't know if like Charlie and Jamie left because of it.
Charlie's gone.
Charlie's
Yeah, they just
asleep,
disappeared.
so he's trying to figure out what's going on. But we can certainly continue this and have Sean.
I'm
weigh in.
here.
What's that?
You can certainly continue this another meeting and have Sean weigh in.
Yeah, I would personally, that's how I'm feeling. If others feel differently, please chime in.
I think more information is always better so we can make sure we make the right decision.
Yeah, I think so too. I would never have him move anything until we have a good, clear understanding of the requirement.
I agree.
Yeah, you agree, Steve?
Yep.
So what do we need to do for a continuance? It's been a bit.
Just a motion to continue, right?
Yeah, I
The
think
next-
so.
Just a motion to continue to your next meeting and make sure that the applicant knows to come.
Okay?
I'll make a motion to continue 24 Fenwick Road to the next meeting on October 1st, 2020.
I second,
Okay, do we
Stephen.
have a second?
Stephen,
Okay,
I second.
all in favor? Nancy,
I'm in favor.
Jamie,
In favor?
Stephen,
I'm in favor.
Charles, if you're still there?
He's not, he's trying to figure out if we have a fire or not.
Okay, Erin,
Oh, Aaron left.
Erin left, so we need Charlie back. Or maybe, do we need him?
Not for, yeah, you're not making a decision. You can do 4.
Yeah, right, okay. And I also agree to continue. So in particular, so we would just want to make sure that the action here is really, Pat, to get with Sean and to find out what in fact the requirement is based on the vintage of this lot and the zoning that was in place at the time, to make sure we're reading the chart properly. Because obviously we'd like to get this in as a special permit as opposed to a variance.
Yeah, it's 61 or 62, right? That's where we're stipulating, right? 61 or 62?
Yeah, I don't even know if that's everything, Jamie, you know?
Yeah, honestly, so the alarm went off. We haven't had this because usually when the people come in with the setbacks and we tell them they can go to the character of the neighborhood in the year it was built, they usually don't have to go see you. So this is the first one we've seen. So yeah.
No, I know. This is totally different for me. And unfortunately, the book that I have with me isn't current.
We do need to order
Colleen?
new ones.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. This is the homeowner, Peter Spawn. I hope it's okay if I make a quick comment. The question you're asking is particularly important, I think, because my understanding is the neighborhood was permitted and most of the houses were built about 1960. This is one of 4, 5, 6, Roberts ranches that were all built at once. And my understanding from the neighbors is this was the last house occupied. So back to Charlie's comment, it seems to me, if I just throw this out there, I'm bringing that up because it seemed to me Charlie's comment might be very helpful in that, what zoning rules apply when the whole subdivision was approved, or when the house was actually started, or when the house was actually occupied. And they're all around that 1961 date where the setbacks seem to have changed a little bit. So maybe everybody understood that, but I want to just add that is my understanding.
Yeah, I think we do understand that. And that's exactly why we want to have Sean weigh in on that, just to make sure we have that right.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Okay, so I don't believe there's any other business tonight. Is that correct, Colleen?
Nope, no minutes. That's it.
Okay, so I
To
guess
close.
we're looking at a motion to close the meeting.
Motion to close.
I second,
Second.
Stephen.
A second motion,
All in favor?
Stephen's
Aye.
in.
Jamie.
Stephen, Jamie,
Nancy.
Nancy, me, and whoever else, Erin or Charlie, is anybody there?
They're gone. They approve.
Everybody's running out the door.
Charlie's back, but he's muted.
Okay,
He put out the fire.
excellent. All right, thanks a lot, you guys, everybody.
Have a good night.
All right,
Yeah,
thanks.
take care. Bye-bye.
Good night.